Please remember that information and advice provided on this podcast is based off my personal experiences as a young girl with ADHD. Although I do analyze, mention, and cite valid peer-reviewed sources, my podcast is not a replacement for professional medical advice. If you have concerns or questions regarding your own amazing brain and mental health, please talk to a medical provider. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which I speak to my listeners today, the peoples of the Kulin Nation. I also pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I'd also like to acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded. To focus.
Another thing that I do when I get nervous is I tend to really bite the inside of my cheek,
Oh.
and it's really, really bad because when I was a kid, I would do that all the time in class, and sometimes I literally I think this one time it got really bad, it got really infected because I really peeled really bad parts of the inside of my mouth. I'm
the inside of my mouth is it looks like someone took a grinder
and just scraped around.
Yes.
It's terrible.
Yes.
Terrible.
It's I do that a lot when I'm I do that. Yeah.
And my papa would be like, Lois, why are you doing your mouth like this? I'm like,
yeah.
I'm biting my cheek, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Or people think that I'm giving them the steak, if I'm focusing, I'll be doing. Yeah. And people think I'm no, I'm just destroying the inside of my mouth.
No,
let me.
Literally, don't mind me.
Yeah, let me give myself an ulcer, absolutely.
Yes, oh my gosh. And then I'm like, oh, I don't have a mouth ulcer. Maybe, Lois, you shouldn't be biting the inside of your cheeks.
The cheeks, and I have to stop doing it, so that's why I have to bite on my fingers, because even though that's kind of gross as well, that's why I constantly sanitize my hands, because I'm thinking, that's gross. I'm doing it now. I'm let me just bite my nails.
It's better than you giving yourself a really bad mouth injury because you've gone a bit too far.
Absolutely, yeah. And Trent whacks my hand of my mouth, and it hurts. Sometimes don't do that. Don't upset me. Don't do that. The other question I was gonna ask was, how do you feel anxiety sort of impacts you being ADHD? Because I know that anxiety impacts everyone differently, but I feel with ADHD it can be a lot worse. Have you sort of dealt with that? When was that period? Was it in lockdown, or is it just something that you deal with on a daily basis?
I think it's something that I deal with on a daily basis, but it varies on the degree. So if it's something that I don't know, for example, do you know what an OSCE is by any chance?
No, I feel I've heard it, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so it's a practical exam that nurses or just healthcare students do.
Mm-hmm.
And you go in and they either ask you to perform a scenario and things like that. So it's really, really nerve-wracking. If it's a situation like that, and I know that I have to kind of put on a brave face, and I'll mask it, but like I said, I'll be stimming on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be tapping, wiggling my toes or something like that. But if it's something where, I don't know, I've heard some really bad news, I go into full meltdown mode.
Really?
You cannot talk to me. It takes a lot. I have, one of my housemates, I had a really bad meltdown last year, and she had to go through a whole trying to get me to distract me from my thoughts. And what she would do would say, okay, tell me something that you can see in the room right now. Can you find something that's this?
What's something blue? Yeah. Talking you, but talking you off the ledge of let's bring it down. Yeah.
Bring it down.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I go into full, I can't see anything beyond what I'm feeling at the moment.
Yeah. I'm the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, like I said, with emotions as well, this isn't really too much anxiety, but I guess it kind of plays into it. Just being really impulsive, especially with anger, I can either get really, really annoyed at something or just be super seldom. I don't have any thought of feeling to it. But it's just,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
100
either...
or I'm 0.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. And when I'm anxious, I know a lot of, and I always encourage my listeners, like, if you are having anxious thoughts, like, it's good to talk about it. I'm the sort of person that with my anxiety, if I talk about it, it makes it real and I don't want to discuss it. So it's all up here. And I used to have this voice, and this was purely in lockdown that caused my anxiety. I'd never struggled with anxiety. It was this internal voice of something bad's going to happen. Something really bad's going to happen. You're enjoying yourself now, well, something bad's going to happen. And it was just that. And when Trent would say to me, like, talk to me about your anxiety, it's like, no, because then I can't talk. No, like, it's...
And then I'm unlocking that.
Yeah, and I need it to stay in here, because if I talk about it, and now I've learnt, like, my psychologist is like, you have to tell the voice to off. Like, you need to tell the voice to just be like, go away, like, just disappear. But that is... Yeah, so how are you with emotions? Because I know a lot of ADHDers struggle with PMS, like premenstrual syndrome. Like, theirs is scorching, and it's a real, genuine thing. Like, PMS is real, and then for ADHDers, it can really border on sometimes severe to where people have depressive thoughts, suicidal thoughts, anger issues, panic attacks. How are your moods? Like, have your meds leveled you out, or do you still have your moments where it's like, I don't care if I'm medicated or not, I'm gonna be angry or sad?
I still have my moments, and I think that's something that people also misconstrued about when it comes to meds, that they think it's just going to fix everything.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I'm able to focus. Yes, I'm able to at least have a better quality of life. Yeah. But in saying that, it doesn't mean that I still don't have my moments where I have very bad outbursts.
Yeah.
One thing that I've come to realize a bit more and come a bit more consciously aware of is, like, whenever, like you said, PMS and getting close to my period, that's when I amplify a bit more. Yeah. And I don't realize it until after I got my period, and then I'm like, oh.
It's like you go in a blind white rage, and then the next day after you've, like, torn everyone to shreds, you're like,
literally,
I'm feeling great, because I knew that was my period, and everyone else is still like,
are you treading, you're literally walking on eggshells.
Yeah, because you just lost it at them, like, they asked you to go put the bins out, and you took that as an attack for, like, why, do you think I'm lazy? And it just goes up here, and it's my period, but in the moment it's like, nah, this isn't my period, I'm angry, and it just literally,
One thing I struggle with as well is kind of just, like, coming down from having a really bad outburst and kind of just being like, okay, I know that I know that you upset me like this, but how I reacted was wrong, and I need to, kind of...
My reaction, like, was not wasn't, like, fit for the crime. It was not, I have, like, once I'm in it, I can't come back. And I've had to learn to, when I know I'm starting to get, it's like, I need to leave the room. Like, I'll leave. Yeah. Like, I say to people now, like I've said to my parents and even Trent, when I'm in that, you have to let me leave. You need to let me go for a walk, because if I stay, I will say and do things that I regret, and I don't want to lash out. So I need to leave before it gets to impulsive to the point of no return, because a lot of people think, just talk yourself down, don't let it get to that. But with ADHD and impulsivity, you can't. We don't have that muscle in our brain. It's called the ALC or ACL muscle in your brain. It's like the friend who holds you back when you're about to punch someone. We don't have that friend going, don't punch him. We have the punch him. Well, punch him.
I'm terrible with that. Like, I know that's something that I struggle with, and like you said, once I'm in it, I can't get out. I can't get out.
Yeah.
Like, I need to pull myself in a situation, and I think, like, kind of switching a bit topics, but relating to I think when it comes to relationships, that's something that people should talk about, because some people in relationships like to, okay, there's that one person who likes to fix things, and within my relationship, I know that's Mitch. Mitch likes to talk about the situation.
So does Trent.
I'm like, no, I'm going to back off, because I know I'm going to say something I'm going to regret.
Yes.
And I don't want to make you, like, feel upset.
I don't want to be mean.
Because of what I've said, you know?
Yeah.
So, it's very hard for me to come out of it once I'm in it.
Absolutely. And, like, Trent will be like, let's talk about it. And it's like, no. It's not the vibe. Stop. Like, no. It's not the vibe. Stop. Like, no, I can't talk about it. And, like, of course, they're doing the rational thing. And if we were neurotypical, we would both go, yeah, you know what, let's talk about it. Whereas me, it's, I need to go somewhere. I need to,
else.
or even sulk for a moment. Like, I just need to not be spoken to. Just let me go have a shower. Let me, watch some Sims commentary videos and vocal stim, and then I'll come back and I'm ready to talk about it. Or I don't need to talk about it at all.
Yeah.
I don't need to, That is a big thing, emotional sort of, they say it's like, because some people don't like the word meltdown. I don't mind, but people say like emotional dysregulation, where you kind of just, you lose a bit of control, you lose control. You lose control.
You do.
Yeah, you lose control. And I think we're made to feel bad for that, and I sometimes hesitate talking about that on my podcast, because a lot of the time it feeds into the stereotype of like, oh, she's nuts, like she's off the planet, like she's moody and psycho and da da, and it's like, no, I'm not. I'm really, I mean, I am psycho, but not because I'm ADHD. I'm just weird, not because I'm ADHD. I'm just odd.
Actually, that brings me to another conversation. Something that I wrote down when it comes down to how like the Black community, or I don't know if this I guess associates with other people of color in different communities, like the Asian, things like that, but like I know that with Black women, a lot of people, or a lot of Black women from what I saw, get misdiagnosed or just undiagnosed,
ignored,
is the stereotype that we're confident, bossy, strong,
loud-headed,
always impulsive, emotionally dysregulated, and things like that. And it's just so what's it called?
True.
It's terrible. Just dangerous. Like,
it's very dangerous. I actually watched a really interesting video. I don't know if it was on TikTok or YouTube, and it was about how, like, if you are white with autism, you have obviously a level of struggles, but you have a level of privilege, because being Black and autistic is a completely different issue. And it was a whole discussion, like, if you see an autistic kid in public who's Black acting out, screaming, maybe, like the stereotype of what an autistic person would be, people would look at that and be like, oh, is he going to get violent? Whereas if you see a white kid having a meltdown at the supermarket, it's like, oh, he's a brat. He's a brat. Like, he's just a pain. Whereas with a Black kid, it's like, oh, like, what, is he okay? Like, is he on drugs? Is he safe? What did his parents give to him? Like, stuff, stupid stuff like that. It's just like, no, that's not the situation. That's not the situation. Stop. Yeah. And maybe they are on drugs, so you're going to, like, call the cops on them? Like, wouldn't you just try and help them? Like, that weird thing of, like, well, they're on drugs, like, so you call the cops? I mean, if they're not hurting anyone and not themselves, and they're just kind of being weird, why would you need to call the police?
Why would you need to? Are you seriously that, what's the word?
Classist.
Threatened?
And threatened and classist, like, I'm going to call the police. Like, as long as they're not bothering you and anyone else and they're not hurting themselves, why are you...
Mind your business.
Yeah, mind your business. Just, like, ignore and look away, or ask if they need help. Yeah, it's a real thing. Well, that was the other question I was going to ask. How do you think your ADHD is perceived in your culture and community? Because I know for me, I'm very lucky that my parents and sort of my family don't care, and if they were to care, I don't care. I don't care what people think. I'm not interested. But how was it for you, sort of culturally, and being a Black girl? What's that like?
I know that it's not, like, mental health in general within the Black community, it's just not talked about. And because it's not talked about, people don't know that they have underlying mental health issues, or might have ADHD, or maybe autistic, things like that, and it's so detrimental. Or even when you do talk about it, it's just denied. It's literally
shut down,
blatantly denied. And some people may know of or might have children who are on the spectrum with ADHD or have autism, and it's like, well, they don't actually recognize or try to make an understanding of it. They're just straight up they're just
just out there annoying. They're just bubbly.
Parents don't know how to teach them. Don't know how to discipline them. Blah blah blah. Like, it's so detrimental. It's such a bad mindset, and we really, as a Black community, I feel like we just really need it, and it's going to take a while, but I really hope that we can grow from that and push forward to a more progressive view on mental health, because there's so many people, and it also comes down to intergenerational trauma, because, the people before them you know,
They didn't talk about it either.
Diagnosed, and then it just
Yeah.
gets passed on, and the way that they were treated for it as kids, they're just going by what they know.
What they know. So it's like frustrating, but it's also you have to have a bit of empathy because they don't get it. Like even I look at my grandparents and we never really explained to them the whole ADHD thing, because even though they were wonderful and great and they thought the world of me, like they thought I was the smartest child in the world, they were like, she's going to be a doctor. I know that if we had explained it to them, they would have been like, nah. And they came from an era, like they grew up during the war and they have a lot of trauma from that, but there was no time to talk about like, oh, were you scared that night that your neighbors were taken away?
Yeah.
No. Were you traumatized by like seeing people, you know, being shot or hanging when you walk outside? There wasn't that. So for them talking about mental health, they used to do the whole thing of like, yeah, but you've just kind of got to get up, and not even in a nasty way of like get up, but like you can't let that affect you. Like you'll be okay. It's not that bad. When it's like, no, it is that bad.
It is.
It is.
Because, and I think that mindset, like a lot of elderly people have that type of mindset. It's like, all right, well, the younger generation, everything seems to affect them nowadays. It's like, no, I think people are just starting to actually learn how to open up and talk about it. Like, I've heard, like, a lot of people be like, oh my gosh, this generation has so much anxiety and so much depression. It's like well, it's because they're actually acknowledging it.
Acknowledging it. And
they actually have it.
And I
want
feel,
to deal with it. And want to better themselves with it. Like,
and I'm thinking, and you should, and I think your generation had it as well, but you didn't know how to talk about it. I think a generation that saw war didn't, you know, to talk about it. It's a thing. And even like my dad grew up and he talked about this in an episode, you know, in school, you know, being ADHD in France in that time, you know, in the 70s, if you were a kid who was naughty, you were just a kid who was naughty. You were just a pain. And the French sort of school system, I don't know how it is now, but even what I experienced, it's very sort of humiliating tactic. So like, let's bring you up to the board and let's see if you were listening, you know, recite this. And if you didn't recite it, you know, go to the back of the class. There was none of that consciousness of, does he have issues? Not even thoughts of like, may he be lame or something, or was he dropped at birth? It's like, no, you were just a stupid child. And you were naughty, and not even naughty in the right way. Like, I wasn't even naughty, nor was my dad. We were just cheeky. We weren't even mean, but it was just like no awareness of that. It was like you were dumb and naughty, and that's it.
And you know what the worst thing as well is that some like teachers in some schools still have that mindset, and so many kids do not get the assistance that they need during their very crucial developmental years. Yeah. To have that support and, you know, patience from a teacher who you'd hope
they're there to do that.
More education surrounding different developmental issues.
I agree. So I had a few special teachers who were who were like that, who just, and you could see they'd been working, you know, for like 60 years. And you're thinking, you've got kids of your own, but I don't know if you just don't like kids. Like, I don't know how you, like, I think you got sick of them, and they just had a refusal to acknowledge that I could not focus. It was, I didn't want to focus. Not, she can't. It was, Lucy doesn't want to focus. It was, they viewed it as a refusal. And I remember one day, to like humiliate my parents, they got this woman to come in. I don't know what her qualifications were. I know her by name, but I haven't been able to find anything on her. And she took me into this room and she asked me a bunch of really pointed questions. I was, I think, about 11 or something. And her diagnosis was severe social disability, wouldn't be able to like finish school, would not have any friends, wouldn't be able to do anything. And my parents were like, yeah, I mean, like, when Lucy comes home, she's great. Like, she's a great kid. She's, you know, bright.
Need to just, you know, fully scrap everything off the child. Like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, and it was just, like, really, like, one of her questions was, why do you think you don't have friends? And I was like, okay, I don't have like that many friends, but I had a few friends in primary school. I had my issues with friends and I found it hard, but I had a few friends. Like those sort of questions, like shady, like what not, do you find it hard to make friends? Why don't you have friends?
That is so
like what's your
That's
really
so unnecessary.
Very cruel, really cool. And it was a bid to humiliate my parents. And like they thought that by telling my parents that, my parents would go, yep, she's got a social disability, we'll just sort of pull her out of and just kind of,
different school.
yeah. And like when they saw me again years later, it was almost like they were annoyed that I was okay. Like when I said, oh yeah, I'm in high school and I'm, I'm captain of this, they were like, oh, right. Instead of being like, oh, that's great. Like, I'm so happy for you. It was like this, resentment.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I had a teacher where, so I got valedictorian in year 12.
Oh my God, that is so cool. Oh my God, that's amazing. I love that.
Although valedictorian for us, it wasn't like person who got the highest ATAR. I think the way that they went about it was who has done like a lot of like
activities.
Like
that. That's fantastic. So, who cares what you got it for? You got valedictorian. Who cares? That's an achievement in and of itself. I didn't get valedictorian. They gave it to a boy.
Stop.
They gave it to a bloke, and I was like, this, like, he was great, but I'm just thinking there was so many great girls that it could have.
Yeah.
Not going to stir up high school drama, but I just think girls should have gotten valedictorian. So you were valedictorian, right?
Yeah, and I've lost my train. Oh yeah, no, I remember. So I obviously, like I said before, was not very good at maths, and I had this one teacher that would always be like, maths you need to have, if you're not going to do well in it, you're not going to do well, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Always talk me down.
Yeah.
As soon as I got valedictorian, I always knew you could do this. And I'm like,
hold up. You put me down like I knew you were going to be okay.
Literally.
Did you? Did you? Like, I actually know what? I had the teacher that gave me grief throughout my entire primary school years.
Yeah.
When I saw her again and I told her how well I was doing, she goes, I knew you just needed a bit of pinching and you were set.
Ew, no, stop.
Like a bit of pinching. And she used to pinch me, to be fair. She actually used to touch me. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And this was like a school that was purported to be like the very hipster school. Like all the parents like wore hats and cared about like sunscreen. They named their children after plants and like made them eat strawberries and were very like to my dad like, oh, where are you from? Like, oh, that's beautiful. Like Haiti, that's gorgeous. Like really sort of that. But then when it came to the teaching style, completely, just kind of not even a certain teaching style, just a teaching style that never factored in that there would be ADHD kids in their class.
Yeah, righto.
They just thought we're just going to have neurotypicals in our class and then that's it. And, there's an ADHD kid. Well, I don't know what to do with them.
That's you and our plan. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, no. Our table. But we might actually have to get Trent to insert some TikTok sounds in this. I don't know if we'll get copyrighted, but I feel like I'm going to have to write him a list of the ones that except for the one we had to censor. That one's such a good one though, but I can't leave that one in, but it's such a good one. And no one's ever going to know what we're talking about. You don't need to know. You don't need to know which one we're referring to.
Exactly.
You don't need to know.
Exactly.
You don't need to know. It's private. The other question I had was, what are some of your ADHD superpowers? Because you talk a lot about like, it makes me really feel shitty and da-da-da, but what are some things that ADHD have given you that you're like, yeah, I've made it my own and I like having it?
Yeah, so in terms of superpowers, because I actually had thought about this question, I was trying to think, like, what you meant by that. So
I should have clarified. I'm an idiot, like, what's your ADHD superpower? And you're like, what does she mean? I don't know what you mean. So how did you take it? What did you think?
From what I understood, I was thinking, okay, I hyperfixate on stuff that drives me to actually get things done, if that makes sense.
Yeah, hyperfocus, yeah.
Yeah, like, sometimes I'll hyperfixate on the wrong thing. Like, I take my meds that morning and I'm like, okay, in my head, today we're going to do this, and this.
Yes, yeah.
We're going to be all good, we got a plan.
Yeah.
But then I noticed, oh my gosh, the kitchen's not clean. I'm going to just clean the whole kitchen now. And
yes.
The kitchen's clean. So, like, yeah, I'm devoted to doing something, but I got my focus
no,
on
you
but was it the right thing to focus on?
No, but you sink your teeth in. Like, even I hyper-focus and hyper-fixate on, like, let's say, an essay, and that's great because I get a good essay, but then it's like, after that, I'll hyper-focus on building a Sims house. And that's just, that's not very conducive. I'm not going to say it's unproductive. No. It's not conducive if I've got, 30 other assignments.
Exactly.
To complete.
Exactly.
So you just, but that's good. You sink your teeth into things. And the other question I was going to ask is, do you feel like, and I hate asking this question because it sounds so American and so corny and I hate questions like this, but where are you on like your acceptance journey? But where are you sort of like on your, Like, are you, yep, I'm proud I'm ADHD, I wouldn't have it any other way, or is there a part of you that's like, you know, it would be easier if I didn't have it, or I'm not ADHD, I have ADHD? Where are you sort of at on your journey?
I think it'd be a lie if you said that you have never thought about not having ADHD, like, since being diagnosed. Like, definitely it has been a thought, but I feel like at this point, with, like, my support circle as well, I've just accepted it. Like, I literally, like, I'll say something and I'll forget something, and I'll be like, ADHD.
I have moments where I realize, like, I go and I sit and I go, I have, like, a disorder. Like, I have a disassociative moment where I think, I have a disorder. Like, I have this thing, but like, I actually have a thing that people, like, read up about because they're worried they might have it. Like, I have that, and literally, I'm very happy to have it. Like, literally.
Yeah. I think at this point in time, it's just a point of acceptance. Like, I have, obviously, everyone's got their downfalls. I've got my downfalls, but I know that I can keep coming from it, and I'm always going to improve, and I'm always going to work to be the best that I can. Like,
and you're always going to be ADHD, so there's literally
that
no...
That ain't going away.
It's not going away. Like, there's a lot of things about you that you can change. Like, not that I'm advocating, but, like, you know, you can fix your nose. You can get a nose job. You can fix your, I don't know, your quarantine weight that you've gained, even though who cares about that? You can fix a lot of that. You can fix, you know, how you respond to people, but you just can't get rid of the ADHD. You can't.
No, you can't.
It's there forever.
It's always going to be there.
Yep.
Like, you can find ways to manage it as best that you can, but it's not going away, baby.
It's not going away. They're staying. And I think a lot of people who take, and obviously, you know, the way people want to refer to themselves is the way they want to, but I find it interesting, people who have ADHD who want to be referred to as such. Like, they don't like the whole I am ADHD. They get very upset. And I think, do you want to be referred to that because you think that it makes you less ADHD? Or I just wonder with people like that, why there's this hesitance to be just like, I'm ADHD. Like, why do you need to be like, no, I have ADHD. I'm not ADHD.
Because it's like, well...
Because it does define you. It defines a lot of you. It's there every day. Like, it's you.
It affects literally every thought process that you have.
An aspect of your life.
That's from there, baby. Like,
it's there. It's you. It's literally in, without sounding corny and full of it, it is in your DNA. It is literally in you. And coded. It is coded. And yet, I don't know why, people are so funny about, like, oh, I'm ADHD. But I don't like to make it my personality. And I think, okay, good for you. All right. You don't make it personality.
Like, I know on my nursing account, I haven't... Sorry, are we going over time?
No, unless you... Yeah, no, keep going. Like, I hate people who are always on a time crunch. Like, yeah, can we stop now? I'm like, I'm not on a time crunch.
No, I'm good to go.
I'm good to go, so go on. Poor Trent. Trent's going to be like, can you wrap it up? Like, just wrap it up, because he's going to have to sit through all of this, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, what were you going to say? So on your nursing account...
On my nursing account, I haven't fully been super vocal about having ADHD. That's mainly due to the fact that I haven't had the chance to actually write out a post about it. But, like, I'm, after this podcast, definitely going to start being a bit more vocal, because there's nothing to hide. Like, it's literally how I go about my life. It obviously is evident when I go to placement and I'm doing my, you know, work at placement and working at work as well. Like, it's there all the time. It's there all the time. And I feel like if I can be that person who shows other ADHDers that, hey, you can be ADHD and work in healthcare. It's possible. You can do whatever you want, baby. Like,
absolutely, you can.
I'm happy to be that person.
I agree. And I used to kind of, like, there's that whole masking thing. I don't think I am actually capable of masking. Like, I don't think I have it in me. But there are certain situations that I used to think about going, like, oh, like, when I have a job, you know, should I disclose it to my coworkers? How would that look? You know, I want to go into the field of politics. Like, how is that going to look? And now there's no going back. And I don't necessarily make a point of telling everyone that I know, like, when I go to events as part of my internship where it's a bunch of political and state people, I don't, like, scream and go, I'm ADHD, but I try to insert it. Like, I'll go, well, you know, I am ADHD. Like, just to let them know that I'm ADHD and I'm in these circles and I will stay in these circles, and I don't have to be neurotypical to fit in. Like, I will work for the UN and I don't have to be
Yes.
I don't have to be neurotypical. And even in jobs, like certain workplaces, I never would have disclosed it in an interview, like, oh, by the way, I'm ADHD. But once I got the job, I would then be like, oh, yeah, and I'm ADHD, by the way. Yeah,
Yes.
just
Same here.
just letting you know. Like, once at a place that I used to work at, one of the managers was like, can you get off your phone? And I was like, I got a reminder that I have to take my ADHD medication.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah.
Oh,
so watch your mouth.
Yeah.
Like, watch your mouth.
Yeah.
Like, just... like, I'm taking my medication, and she was like, oh, I'm so sorry, and I do make her a point of it, but I get why people sometimes wouldn't feel safe necessarily, like, disclosing it, but I just think, why not? Like, I need to let people know, because then people find my podcast anyway, so...
Exactly.
There's no point in it.
I only really disclose it. I don't, like you said, I don't disclose it in an interview, because...
Like, you're not coming out.
I don't feel like it's going to...
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's going to affect my capability overall with my knowledge.
Yeah.
That it's going to affect how I go about doing the job.
Yeah.
Will I need some assistance at times, or might I get a bit flustered and overwhelmed? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe then I can disclose it.
Yeah.
But getting into the job, I know what I'm going in for.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue for me to have to disclose it.
Yeah.
And obviously, like you said, for like taking meds, like there's heaps of times, like, because I currently work as a registered undergraduate nurse at a hospital.
Round of applause. Insert that, Trent. Insert round of applause. Woo! Insert that.
I normally have to let, like, my buddy nurses, hey, I'm just going to quickly drop by, just going to go get my meds.
Get to have
and
a
oh, yeah, sure. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, no,
That's the only time I'd really... Just for that reason, because I don't want them to think that, oh, I'm just always taking toilet breaks. No.
Toilet break. Yeah. No, I sometimes, like, when I was at work and there were a certain amount of coworkers, they would always be like, what's that thing that you're taking that pill? I'm like, oh, it's my ADHD medication. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry that I was like, no, it's all good. Like, I don't want you to think I'm just taking pills. I'd rather you know. But then it ventures into territory where people start to get a bit stupid, where you'll mention your ADHD and then some dumb questions come, and some of the dumb questions are coming from a place of kindness, and you kind of have to go, all right, and then some of them you're like, oh, hey, I don't like okay.
I know where this is going.
Like, oh my god, like the one that I was just, are you really ADHD? No, you're not. I never thought that. And I used to say, like, didn't you remember in high school? Like, I was, no, you weren't. You're fine. Are you really? I could never tell. And I don't know if they're saying that because they thought I was and think I'd be offended that they thought that. I don't know. But it's like, no, you're not. Oh, come on. Are you really? Oh, my God.
I haven't had too much of that, but it's more so when you take the meds, it's like, oh, do you get, like, really, really, like, bouncy or, like, really energetic? And it's like...
Yes. Yes.
I'm actually... yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I actually just can focus and get work done.
Yeah. Yeah, I can just get work done. Sometimes with those people, I just go, yeah, I get really hyper. I'm actually high right now. So, yeah. I just...
I'm already, like, super hyper. Like,
yeah. I'm already hyper, and the meds won't, make me even more hyper. Or my favorite thing is when, like, coworkers used to say, you know, Lucy's, like, really loud. I think it's the ADHD. And it's like, you know what? On that one, you're actually mistaken. Like, you're actually mistaken. I'm just really loud.
Yeah.
The ADHD's got nothing to do with it. And if I am loud, tell me, hey, Lucy, you're being too quiet. Shut up. I'm good with people telling me, because I have no volume control. I've got one voice, and it's an outside voice. Just tell me that instead of being like, she's, like, really loud. Or, like, my favorite thing was, so-and-so was talking about you, and they said something really rude. I'm like, oh, what did they say? They said you're really loud and, like, talk too much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? Stop, really?
Oh. Like, oh my God.
And it's like,
I hate that.
I know I am, or I'm just making up for your lack of personality.
Oh, honestly,
which one is it?
If, like, you really are going to be saying things like that, just, I'd rather you tell me straight up. I'm not going to know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not going to know. Like you said, if I'm being loud, just tell me. Like, I'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, my parents tell me all the time, like, shut up, Lucy.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'll do that. And, like, Lucy, I love you. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Or Trent will go, shh, you're too loud. And even,
Literally,
like, at my internship, my beautiful co-worker, she's amazing, and she's got, like, 2 kids, so she's got the patience of a saint. But sometimes she's like, you're yelling. Shush.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sorry.
Literally, it's like, all right,
Yeah.
that's okay.
That's okay.
I'm fine. I'll
Yeah.
put my voice down. And if
Yeah.
you tell me in a nice way too.
Yeah, and in a
Yes.
loving way, I'm
not going to be like, oh my gosh.
yeah.
As if you tell me to be quiet.
So I'm offended. Like, I'm the last person. Like, yeah, tell me to shut up. Tell me I'm talking too much, and
Tell me
we're
straight up.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. No,
oh my gosh.
I am. I'm the same. I'm absolutely the same. I had another question. I keep forgetting. I'm like, there's a bunch of questions. I'm gonna go to bed at night and be like,
That's okay.
what was the other one?
Other question.
So the medication, so we've obviously talked about it a lot. So like we said, medication doesn't fix everything. It doesn't da. So I was going to ask, how long have you been on medication for? Have you had any side effects? And what are you like when you don't take your meds? Because I go through periods where, like, I know I've got nothing on, so I don't take my meds, or I'll go through weeks. How is it? What is the medication like for you?
So I think, so with these meds, I take them. So did you ask how often I take them?
I'm an idiot. I asked 3 questions in one. How long have you been on medication for?
Yep.
That's the first one. So answer that.
Okay.
I won't overwhelm you.
So I've been on medication since when I started my meds in October last year.
Okay.
Until now. I have periodically, like, taken time off it for a few, like, just a few days off. And then from there, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can notice when I turn back to my unmedicated self.
Yeah. You have the day, like, sometimes I'll go through days where I don't take my meds and I'm like, yeah, like, I'm okay. I could do without meds. And then I'll have a moment and I'll go, you should probably take your meds, Lois.
Oh, that was, like, there's days where, so I'm still in the midst of trying to figure out a good, like, dose for it. Like, still in the midst of just trying to figure out what works best for me. So I was in and out of, I'd finished medication, and because I moved back to Melbourne, I have to still travel up to Ballarat to see my doctor. So I noticed that I'm like, oh no, I'm out of meds. So then I'd have to kind of, like, cold turkey. I can't have anything for the next few days until I book my appointment. So I could not get anything done. Like, I'd have work and I'm like, I'm sorry, I literally cannot. Like, I put focus to it, but I'm out here teaching my cat God knows what.
You're not, It's a thing, and obviously people misconstrue that as, oh, so, like, you're addicted, like, you can't live without them, and it's like, no, stop. Like, diabetics aren't addicted to insulin, they need it. Like,
they need it.
I don't need the drug, like, oh, like, I have a craving, like I need, I'm not an addict, my life is objectively easier when I'm medicated.
But also, another thing that people don't realize, every medication that you even take, you're going to get withdrawal from it anyway. And it might not be as, like, it might not be a very, very severe type of withdrawal, but, like, especially if you're taking, like, ADHD meds or antidepressants or things like that, when you go cold turkey straight away, of course you're going to have
a bit of a moment.
Block, a wall.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
You're going to be tired. You're going to be hungry. Like, as soon as I'm off my meds, I eat everything.
Ravenous. There you go.
I feel like I'm just out of the wilderness.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just so stupid to have that mindset that, oh, yeah, so you're addicted because you come off it. No, babes, that's not
like, shush. Like, and I hate that I have to clarify that in this conversation, because there will be people who are listening thinking, like, yeah, they're addicted. It's like, and, like, you're addicted to having a glass of wine every night because your husband is going to leave you, Sandra.
Yes.
So get a grip. I'm not shading any Sandra in particular. I don't know any Sandra. Just putting that out there. And the other question I have is, how are you with side effects? Because I feel like I'm one of the only people who responds very well to medication. I don't know. I have a very big resilience. I'm one of the, and touch wood that stays that way. I've never had really any side effects for my meds. How about you?
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, nothing at all.
The only thing that I can say that I had a side effect to was when I was taking Ritalin, I would forget to eat sometimes.
Yes.
And when I went on, so then I switched to Concerta and I went on a higher dose of Concerta and I stopped eating. Not because I didn't want to eat, not because of anything psychological. My appetite shut off. So we would go out to restaurants and I used to, like, devour. And it was a period when I was like 15. I didn't eat. And I started to look a bit like Corpse Bride. Like so then we just was like, just stay on your normal dose. And then my appetite came back and I was good to go. But other than that, there hasn't been anything. I haven't reacted.
Yeah, definitely something that I like. Also, like when I started Ritalin, appetite was out the window. It still kind of is in and out, but I've been eating a bit better of recent, and I think that's just because my body's actually starting to get used to the new like dose that I'm on currently.
Yeah.
So when I did start, like you said, I literally forget to eat, and then I get to dinner time and I'm like, oh my gosh, why do I feel so nauseous? Why do I have headache? Oh.
Yeah, and you forget to drink water. Like I would go days at school, like a whole day at school without eating anything, and my friends would be like, Luce, you have to eat. I go, oh shivers.
Oh,
the dry mouth. Yeah, I used to get the dry mouth. I used to get the dry mouth. That was one thing on Ritalin, that the dry mouth. But I really enjoyed Ritalin, and then I changed it because the Ritalin for me, I needed something. It was great for me in high school because it gave me the bursts, but I needed something with an extended release. So that's why Concerta,
once it wears off, you kind of just go
crash. You crash. It's like coming down from a high, like you're on not a real high, the minute my meds would wear off, I would get stupid. Like I would be giggling, like doing silly stuff, like screaming around the house, being a moron, and just like being, you know.
Like crackhead hour.
Crackhead hour, and you're just being a moron, and you could see. Whereas with the Concerta, it's like it keeps me sustained. Like it lasts. Yeah. But Ritalin's great. I think Ritalin's really good. I think they usually start you off on Ritalin because it's one that is quite good for a starter because it kind of gives you those bursts of focus. It's quite good, I found, at least, yeah.
I think as well in saying that, like, it's really good, like, once you do start meds, just to be, like, super open with your doctor and telling them everything that you're feeling. Because from there, you can figure out, okay, do I need to start a different type of medication? What works best for me?
What interacts, absolutely, yeah.
And in saying that as well, like, if you started medication and you feel like you don't need to be on the medication, that's okay too.
God bless you. God bless you. Less money to spend, hey? You waste less money.
Although
God bless.
For me, at the moment, it's actually all right because I've got, like, a concession card with being on Centrelink. So
there you go.
Whenever I go get my meds, it costs less than what it usually would, which I'm really grateful for when I leave beauty.
Well, you shouldn't have to be grateful for it because it should be means tested. Like, I'm very lucky. Yeah. My parents helped me with my medication, but, like, it shouldn't be that expensive.
It shouldn't be that much. No,
it shouldn't be. It should not be. Like, a lot of things should not be that much. But yeah, no, it shouldn't. Like every time I see my psychiatrist, and I've been on Ritalin now for I've been on it since 2015, and she still asks me to this day, any side effects? I'm like, honey, I've been on the meds for years now. I'm good to go, but I do get paranoid going on new medications because I'm very concerned that they're going to interact. Like when I was going to start an acne medication, I thought, oh my God, what if it completely ruins my medication or the birth control implant, what if that completely destroys? And I'm like Hulk with medication. It doesn't break me. I break it. I don't react. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Oh,
it's odd.
I didn't even know, because I'm in and out of when I take my vitamins, but whenever I feel like I might be getting a bit sick, I do take my vitamin C, vitamin D, all of that. But one thing I didn't know is vitamin C actually stops or slows down the absorption of Ritalin. And I was because I'd wake up some days, or just during that day, I just feel really, really
vitamin C,
groggy, or just I don't know what it was.
Interesting.
I was odd, and then I wasn't able to really concentrate either throughout the day. And I'm oh, okay. But then I did a few more research on this ADHD meds just because I was curious. And then one of the things are oh yeah, taking vitamin C,
What's I'm so dumb and idiotic. What's vitamin C? Because I know vitamin D is the sun. What's vitamin C? What does
in your citrus fruits.
Your citrus fruits. Okay, well, you know what's terrible? I don't eat any fruit, so maybe that's why I respond so okay. I don't eat fruit. It's terrible, but that's interesting. So it slows down. Fun fact, everyone, if you're taking vitamin C or you're having a bunch of oranges and you're medicated, take care.
Have a look. Check that, because I'm pretty sure that was it. It was either it was vitamin C. It was vitamin C because yes.
That's so interesting.
But yeah, I was like, okay, well, I guess.
Wow. And the other question I had that's come up, because you said you're medicated, do you drive?
Yes, I do. And
what's that like? Because spoiler, I don't have my license yet. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it, and I'm so worried about being pulled up for a drug test when I'm going to start driving.
And that's something that I still struggle with, because I don't know how that's, I haven't been pulled up ever, and I won't ever, but if in the case that I do, I don't know how to go about it, because yes, Ritalin is a drug that people use recreationally on a side.
And it would show up on the...
And it would show up, yeah. So that's something that I've always thought about and I've always struggled with. I'm like, do I just bring my, I've got a certificate, not really a certificate, but something my doctor wrote out, just to be like evidence. Yeah.
I have that when I'm traveling, so when I go through customs, they don't think that I'm Pablo Escobar, and they know that it's just no, she's just ADHD. Yeah. But I worry about driving, because I'm thinking, what if I get pulled up?
Everywhere? Yeah.
I feel like you would have to, because imagine if you don't and the cops pull you up and you test positive for whatever, and you're like, I take it because I'm ADHD, and they probably hear that from so many people, and you just...
Exactly.
I feel like you would have to carry that around.
I probably would. But yeah, that's always the thought process that runs through my mind, and I'm always just like, I really hope in the odd case that I do, I've got some form of evidence to back me up, because I don't want to be, I just want to keep my career in
clink, clink, add some sound effects, Trent, some police cars, clink, clink, oh my goodness. But yeah, I think you've answered all my questions. I feel like we've talked about so much, because Trent asked me, he goes, well, what's the episode about? And I'm like, I don't know. It's about...
It's about healthcare and being a student with ADHD.
It's about PMS, moods,
PMS,
vitamin C,
everything.
vocal stims,
in the ADHD
the community. Exactly. I feel like this episode was just an excuse for me to vocal stim with people.
Same. I've been literally talking about it all, the whole part previous week. It's on Monday.
It's on Monday. And I keep telling everyone, even at 7:30 when I was coming out, I was like to my parents, I've got the interview. I'm doing an interview.
Literally.
I'm doing an interview.
How there's some days where you just you've got this one thing going on, and everything else just doesn't matter. It's just that one thing.
Yes, literally me at work. Someone's talking to me about their inquiry, and I'm like, yeah, I'll help you. But then I have this thing, and I'm fixated. I'm fixated on it. We'll wrap it up, and then we'll talk after I stop recording. But I want to thank you so much for coming on. You've been a fantastic guest, and I want to have you on again. It has been amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And make sure you guys go follow her, say your username, give all your social handles.
Nursing parastudent Laura.
Beautiful.
Lucy will put it down.
I will link it in the description. I will link it. And just thank you so much. Thank you for listening, everyone. And don't forget to stream and like this episode and give it 5 stars.
Yes.
Okay?
Lucy is amazing.
Thank you. Well, you're amazing. We both made an amazing episode. And if you don't support us, then very disappointed in you. So dynamic duo. I love it. So thank you so much for listening, and catch you later. Bye. Bye.